I'd like to welcome Dustin Johnson to the interview room here at the Dell Technologies Championship, our FedEx Cup standings leader currently after that pretty exciting finish there in New York last week. So Dustin, just quickly just reflect on the Northern Trust and your confidence heading into Boston.
Yeah, obviously it was a big win for me, especially to get back in the winner's circle after after I got off to such a great start in the beginning of the year. But it was, it was a lot of fun. Obviously, going head to head with Jordan there on Sunday was a lot of fun. It was a tough challenge, but obviously I got to come out on top. But it was a lot of fun that Sunday, and I think it was a big win for me to get my confidence back, to get everything. I felt like everything was close, but to get everything moving back in the right direction was a great feat.
We'll start with some questions. Raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. There you
go. Butch Stearns, Boston 25. Your thoughts about Boston, connections with Boston. What are your thoughts when you come here to compete?
I enjoy coming up here to play. I like this golf course. I like the area. It seems like I got a lot of support around here, so I enjoy it.
Quick follow-up. When you play in a Pro-Am, is there one bit of advice you often give amateurs that you play with?
Hit more club. They always come up short, always.
Good, Mike.
Dustin over here. Just curious what your thoughts are on the 12th and 13th hole. They made some changes there, particularly the 12th is a lot longer than last year.
Yeah, it's quite a bit longer. It's an interesting hole. It's kind of it's tough. Well, it depends on the wind. I mean, if it's into the wind, I think I like it a lot better than if it gets downwind, just because the fairway runs out down the right side probably like 315, and down the left is 325 or less. So it with a bunker right in the middle of the fairway. So if it's into the wind, I think it definitely favors. It's more favorable for me than downwind. But even downwind, I mean, I don't know. We'll just have to figure it out what we're gonna do. But I mean, they definitely made the hole a lot tougher. That's for sure. The green's a little bit more difficult, and then obviously you're hitting a lot longer club end, so it's definitely a more difficult hole. And then 13 is, to me, it's not. It's really not any different, other than now there's not, the whole shape's really similar. The green sits a little bit lower. The green shape's different, but it's not, the only thing really that's different is if it does turn around and blows into the wind. Before, the tour really didn't have much of an option. It was a big force carry, especially up the the left side of the fairway was a long force carry. I think that was their main reason for redoing that hole. And so I do like the changes on the 13th. The 12th, I think it'd be great if it was a par 5, not a long par 4, but it's just going to be a really tough hole.
Right here, then here.
Bill Doyle, Worcester Telegram. There are obviously a lot of great players out here, but do you consider Jordan Spieth to be your greatest rival? And could you just talk about your rivalry with him and your relationship with him?
Yeah, I mean, me and Jordan are close friends, and we enjoy playing with each other, enjoy competing against each other. As far as him being my greatest rivalry, I don't know. I mean, I think there's quite a few really good golfers that are tough to beat, and to say there's just one other rivalry, I can't really say that, but just because I think you look at the top 10 guys, they're all tough competitors, especially when they're playing well. Any one of us can win at any time.
Dustin over here. Kevin Walsh, NBC Boston. Jordan's going to the Patriots game tonight. Are you going to tag along, or do you have other plans?
Yeah, I've got the family in town, so I don't think I'm going to be able to sneak away and get to the football game. But, yeah, I mean, if I could, I would go, but it's not gonna. I don't think Mama's gonna let me out the house.
Will you go out of the house for dinner with the family?
Yeah,
Or check out the
probably.
stadium?
Well, yeah, I'm sure we'll do that. I'll just hang out with Pauline and the kids.
Do you remember?
I'll watch it on TV.
Okay, sounds good. I
Yeah.
need all the help I can get. Do you remember the weather last year? How windy it was with the hurricane out in the ocean? And have you seen the advanced forecast? It looks like the weather's a lot better.
I mean, I looked at it. I just looked more at the temperature. I didn't look at the wind. But now that you say, you remind me. Yeah, I remember it being a little bit windy, but not. I don't remember it being like crazy. Just slightly, a little breezy. I remember the program. It rained all day. I do remember that.
Dustin, about a month ago, there was the announcement of the proposed changes in order of play for the tournaments, which is the speculation that maybe this tournament would fall by the wayside. Would you be disappointed if that were the case? And what are your general thoughts on the reordering?
I mean, I kind of like what they're doing with the majors. Moving the PGA to May, moving the players back, just because it gives us more time to prepare for each one. As far as they're spaced out, like where they're kind of a month apart, each one of them. So I think that's a really good move. As far as what they're going to maybe do with the playoffs, I think it's a really good move for the tour not to have to compete against football, because our ratings drop a lot once football starts. It's just, especially on Sundays and Saturdays and Sundays, that's just going to happen, especially when we're like right at the beginning of football season, but it's the end of our season. People haven't had anything to watch other than golf for a long time, so I mean, I don't blame them for watching football, because I probably would be too. But I think it's a great move as far as the playoffs, to end a little bit earlier. Whether this tournament goes away or not, I like this tournament. I like coming up here. So, yeah, I don't want to see it. But, something's going to have to give somewhere. I don't know what the exact proposal is. I've seen it. I've talked with Jay and some of the guys, a good bit about it, but nothing's set in stone.
Mike?
Dustin over here. You obviously showed earlier this year you can string together a bunch of wins, and obviously in the playoffs we've seen guys win multiple events. Just wondering if you think it's impossible for somebody to run the table in all 4 playoff events. Obviously, you're the only one that has a chance to do that this year.
Can't win them all if you don't win the first one, right? So, I mean, yeah, it's definitely possible. Is it going to happen? I have no idea. I'd love to say, yeah, I'm going to win all 4, but the odds are not in my favor. And for me, I'm winning last week's big, because it. Pretty much I think I'm probably guaranteed to be in the top 5 going into Atlanta, which is where, you want to be, is in that top 5 going into Atlanta, because then, you win the tournament, you win the FedEx Cup championship. So, that's the biggest thing for me. So now I'm looking, obviously this week's another big week, because I can, I want to play really well. I feel like the game's in really good form. I finally feel like I'm swinging really well. I'm doing everything very well right now. So, which is what I'm trying to do leading into Atlanta.
Do you see it, though, being perhaps a bit easier to do it in the playoffs, given the fact that there's decreasing field size as opposed to trying to do it in a regular season?
Yeah, obviously that helps. With the field size getting smaller, there's less guys that you have to beat, because, any week, any player in the field, I mean, the guys, the talent level is so big from me to the last guy in the field, that anybody in the field can win any given week. If they're playing really well, they're going to be very hard to beat. So, that's the thing with golf is, the talent level is so, it doesn't matter 1 to 200 in the world. The 200th guy in the world can win any tournament. you know, at any time. But you know, we're in other sports. You look, you know, the 200th guy in the world has no chance to win. But in golf, I think just the talent level is so jam-packed that, you know, so it does make it difficult to win, you know, even 2 tournaments in a row.
And we have time for one more with Tom in the back.
DJ, statistically, the 18th hole here is the easiest finishing hole on tour. How do you prepare for that in the course of your practice rounds? And what's your strategy once the tournament begins?
I mean, you know, you're trying to make a 4. Well, you know, however you do that, you know, for me, it just depends on which way the wind's blowing. If it's downwind, you know, it makes it a little bit easier hole for me because I can carry the bunker on the right and hit a short iron in. Into the wind, though, you know, I just hit it out to the left. And, you know, the second shots, you know, it all depends on where the flag is, where you're trying to hit your second shot to. But I don't know. I don't think it's that easy of a hole, but it's a par 5, so, and it's reachable for everyone. So it's one of those holes where, you know, you're just trying to get in the fairway and get it, you know, somewhere around the front of the green so you can make an easy 4.
All right, so as we finish up here, we have a quick presentation for Dustin from winning the Dell Technologies match play earlier this year. Nice set of cowboy boots, as is the case in Austin. So go ahead and do a quick photo here.
Try to stand up or?
Yep. Dustin, we wanted to congratulate you again for winning the Dell Technologies match play. You're having a phenomenal season, and we wanted to present you the custom boots that were promised to you as part of winning the tournament. So congratulations.
Slide over a little bit.